my audio sound okay? Or is it like, it's like muffled, you said, right? It's like,
it sounds fine.
sounds okay.
Sounds fine.
See waiting room. Admit. Hello, ladies. It says 19 yeses. We shall see.
Hi.
You're like a regular now. I love it. How are you?
I'm so excited to be doing something that's not just like sitting around.
How's work? Are you guys still like fully working and everything, or what's going on?
Yeah, still working full time, but just from home, you know.
Yeah. Cool. Hey,
Hi. So I have to tell you what happened to me quickly.
Yeah.
I'm getting really confused with all the different classes.
Yeah.
I was looking forward all day to your 5 o'clock class, and I had a Zoom call with a friend from 4 to 5, and I rushed off to get on, and I'm like, where's my Google reminder? Why can't I get in? And then at like 7 after 5, I'm like, oh my God, it's through Spark, and I hadn't signed up, and I totally couldn't do it.
Sorry. I'm sorry, friend. You know what? You weren't supposed to be in that class for some reason or another. And I don't know why, but maybe it's because now like you can just chill. But just know that my one that I sent outside of Spark it is a Google invite, and the one from Spark
Right.
will always have to like manually do it.
Yeah, no, but I just in my head, do you know when you're thinking, like, I'm having a really hard time keeping all, like, not being overwhelmed with a lot of different thoughts in a lot of different areas right now.
Totally. No, I get that.
I just screwed up.
Girl, you're good.
I can't keep it straight.
You're fine. I
No,
wanted to tell you that your skin looks luminous because it does.
Oh, thanks. I
So
think because
maybe that's why you did.
Actually, I got this rose oil at Trader Joe's.
You got rose oil? I've been wanting to get rose oil. Oh my God. The rose oil I want was like $300 though, because I'm a diva.
Yeah, no, this one's just from Trader Joe's I tried, but I mixed it with my moisturizer.
Mm,
A little.
it's working, my friend.
Thanks.
Hey, Mona.
Hi.
How are you? You get my email? Were you able to share the link?
Yeah,
with your friend?
I did. Thank you.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your friend Carla?
Yeah.
Hi, Carla. I'm Kathleen. Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Good.
Oh, I guess I don't have it on the full screen. Hi, girl.
Hello.
So there's a random iPhone, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to either tell me who you are or I'm going to boot you. That's just the way it's going to go. Is that cool? So if you don't want to tell me who you are, even you can put it to a private chat, and I'm totally cool with that. But when we get started, I'm probably going to force you out of the meeting because I like to know who you are because I spend my free time doing this. I'm going to go on Insta Live. Hey, James. Long time no see. Hey, Sherry.
Did the person go?
Joy. Ah, I love you. I miss you.
It's too. All right, I'm gonna put you on mute now. 'Cause my dogs are crazy.
Oh, the
Or put me on
iPhone is
mute.
Tabitha. Okay, Tabitha, there's no way I'm booting you. I love you.
Tabitha here. Where's Tabitha?
Yeah, my dog's right in the screen. He
And
can't
Beth, I don't know if we know each other, but hi, Beth.
Hi.
More people.
I'm just talking to everybody.
Hey.
Miss everyone. Hey.
Hey. And people on Insta Live, like, I love that. Mike Homburg, are you going to stay for my freaking moon meditation? That would be fun. Nicole's joining Insta Live. Hey. Seeing if we have any more people joining on Zoom. And Insta Live people, if you would prefer Zoom, I will send you the link. Well, actually, I might not be able to now. Hit me up privately and I'll send you a link. All right. Good evening, friends. Good to see you again, Alex. Good to see you, Marissa. Except I can't see you, but that's okay.
Ooh, Mona's lights changed colors.
Your lights are pretty.
Those are cool.
Yeah, it brings me somewhere else.
I like that.
Hey, Kevin.
I see your lights in the back.
It's 7:32, so we got a good quorum here. No repeaters, right? Wait, Cheryl, did you do Wednesday?
I did not. I don't have Charlie now, so this is a lot more relaxing than Wednesday.
Awesome.
He's loving you though.
I'm loving Charlie as well.
Now you can cuss as much as you want.
Oh, hey, Willow. Nicole, I'm going to give you the rundown on what you need, but basically get comfortable. If you don't have a yoga mat, then that's cool. Just maybe a bed or a couch or a comfy blanket. Really, the purpose here tonight is to just receive and to be present and to allow whatever inner guidance comes through. I'm just an external body offering guidance that you already have within you. How esoteric was that shit? All right, let's get started. So I'll give you the rundown because a couple of you, it's your first time. Oh, Cassie's here too. So the rundown is get comfortable. The rundown is I'm going to give you a little information about what the new moon in Taurus is all about. And then I'm going to give you a tarot energy reading that I did in alignment with the new moon. And then I'm going to do a guided meditation. The meditation aspect is only about 15-20 minutes. Might feel longer, might feel shorter. But the intent really is to just like chill. And I'm going to guide you through certain visualizations that if they work for you, run with them. If you're having a hard time, my only advice is to be nice to yourself and don't worry about getting it right. You cannot get it wrong. Okay? And then at the end, once we go through the visualization, what we'll do is I like to do a little debrief where if you want to share anything that showed up for you, you're welcome to unmute, talk, or you can put it in the chat box. That's been a really fun, popular option that people like because then you don't feel like you have to have the microphone, but you can still share and interact. And then I'll do a final card. I'll just pull one card that will allow us to have a little guidance to take us through. Does that sound good? You guys have any questions? Any questions on Insta? Insta Live's weird. I mean, I like it, but it's hard to like, it says there's 2 people, but then like at the end there's 47. It's very weird. Okay, so cool. I'm gonna give you guys a rundown. Anyone like have a background in astrology or tarot that is like, they know stuff? Just wanna know how much to explain. I don't wanna tell you stuff you already know. My mom joined. Hi, Rose. Cool. Hi, Mom. So we had a new moon on Wednesday evening in Taurus. It's Taurus season. Any bulls on the line? Anyone born in May or April? Okay, cool. We had like 3 or 4 in the other. So if you are familiar with Taurus or you're not, essentially the bull is an earth sign. Earth is soil, it's rich, it's grounded, it's deep, it's practical, it's fertile. It's also willful. So Taurus, if you think of bulls, bulls are strong. They're very strong. That's one of their greatest traits. But they can also be bullheaded, right? Like that's where the term comes from. So there's a stubborn aspect. So I kind of give you the light and the dark, right? Part of why we have this meditation is around the lunar cycle. So new moons are all about new beginnings. You could say fresh starts. I don't want to like overly romanticize that a new moon means you need to go, start a brand new hobby. But if you think about full moons being endings, new moons are the beginning. And it's this dark period. If you even think back to when we were, living more nomadically or more in caves or more as ancient peoples, we didn't have light right at night, besides fire or besides the light of the moon and the stars. And so a new moon is this dark incubation cocoon-like period. It is about a new beginning, but it is also about going inward. It's about your inner world. So just kind of want to give you that as we go through this, even though sometimes the guidance can feel like I need to go do something, new moons are actually a really good time to go in and brainstorm and think and be, instead of feeling like you need to do external action. Does that make sense? Yeah, cool. So, oh, Carolyn's on too. Hi, Carolyn. So with that, it's also related to the tarot cards, the Empress and the Hierophant. We don't have to go into that a lot, but like Empress is like sensuality. I mean, Taurus, the way I like to describe the Taurus sign is those are your friends who have like the best cheese boards. Like they know how to make a good meal. They want you to be comfy. They're like, please don't wear anything that like has a waistband. Just like show up, eat whatever you want, drink whatever you want. Like you are here to relax, kick your feet up. Cool. And that's kind of the vibe we want right now too. So let us talk a bit about the energy reading I did. So what I do is I pull 3 cards with no particular meaning necessarily associated with them, but like I ask for what's the highest guidance now for the group, and what do we need to know, or what are we being asked to pay attention to? And I pull it from this deck called the Wildwood deck. That's what I'm using right now because I really like the energy of it. It's super earthy. It's super woodsy. It's got like a bit of a Robin Hood feel to it. So as somebody who's super Irish, I'm like, cool, that's my people. So the 3 cards I pulled, and I'm going to just give you some of the energy around the cards. The first one is the Knight of Arrows, and it is a hawk, which is kind of cool. And I just share this from Wednesday's session I did. We actually had the King of Arrows and the Queen of Arrows, and now we've pulled the Knight. So the fact that it's a knight, it's a court card. Court cards, meaning kings, queens, knights, and pages, are all about mastery. They're all about diving deeper into a lesson or a trait or a process or an embodiment. So what Knight of Arrows is asking for us to do is really work around the element of air. So even though we're in an earth season with Taurus, air is more about mental acuity. It's more about cognitive ability. It's more about thinking, rationality. It's our left brain. It's a masculine sign also, air is. So Knight of Arrows asks us to really, because knights are also about how we move about in the world, whereas kings are about how we project and lead. Queens are about how we emote and feel. And then knights are about like how we move, how we make shit happen, right? So thinking that this is a new moon, so we're going in, how do we like make shit happen mentally by going in? So some of the sort of key reading points I want to share is how can you support yourself, your mind, through layers of doubt and uncertainty? Because maybe that's coming up for you. I know it is for me every damn day of my life. How can you get to the heart of the matter? when you think of hawks, what is like their number one trait? It's their sight, it's their vision. And air is a quality that's also about getting clear on things. So it's all about clarity of vision. And you think of like how hawks actually build nests really high up so that they can survey the land, they can scan. So the Knight of Arrows is kind of asking you to say, where can you pull up? Where can you be more at a bird's eye view? Where can you give yourself perspective by saying, I don't need to be down in it, doing it. And I like the way this flows with the new moon too, because it's saying you don't need to be in it, doing it externally. You need to pull out and see it broader. Some of the other, like, I guess you could call them light traits would be like, the movement is quick when you're a knight. And when it's air, it's like, you're going in, like you're not afraid. You're courageous, you're a defender, you're energetic, you're spontaneous. But then also, on the other hand, you could be impulsive. You could be grudge holding. You could be hyper vigilant. You could take on a hero complex. Oh, my cousin joined. Hi, Chris. The idea is that, and this is what I really liked this, this one little line that was in the book. It's a speedy, it could be potentially a speedy turn of events that might make you feel like you need to take up a cause or an ideology. And you guys, if I'm being real with you, like this whole pandemic has made me really have to look and be clear and notice and pull back and see how leadership functions. And whether it's at my full-time job, whether it's at my part-time job, whether it's like in my life, like who shows up as a leader, I've had to really personally take the view of like, am I just trusting that somebody knows what they're doing? Or am I actually seeing what they're doing, right? You ever notice that with leadership? Like we assume they know what they're doing because why would they be in that position if they didn't? But the truth is we're at a point too, globally, where I think, and this is just my opinion, so you take it or leave it, that there's going to be a lot of change. There's going to be a lot of shifting. And what I think the Knight of Arrows is asking us to do is pull out. Don't go like rush in and take up the cause. Ask yourself, what is the cause and what do I want to align myself to? And how can I use my inner world to get really clear and see really clearly what's happening around me so then I can make decisions that are right for me and my ideology. Are we good? It says my network bandwidth is low. Am I okay now? James is helping me out. I'm technologically, I used to be good at this shit. Just let me know if you guys have any trouble hearing me, okay? Okay, so the next card then, let's go for it. 8 of Stones. And stones is the element of earth. So that's kind of cool because we're in earth, right? And 8 is a number, and you're probably like, where does she learn all this shit? There's a way to learn all this shit. There's a whole archetype for every number. There's a whole archetype for every tarot card, every element. Like it's all related. If you do anything with traditional Chinese medicine, if you do anything with tarot or astrology or yoga or Ayurveda, all of these archetypes exist. Welcome, Alex, by the way. Just wanted to acknowledge you. So 8 is a number of change. I really like the idea too, if you turn an 8 to the side, it becomes a infinity loop. It's the idea that change is constant. Change is always happening. So what that means, so we have this change element and then we have this really grounded element of earth. It's asking us to look at skill. What skills do we have? Honing skills, and I love this because this is very Taurian. Honing skills out of love, like it's rooted in a purpose. I told you that the earthy energy is very practical and pragmatic. It's also very rooted in like a cause, an ideology. It's not a frivolous like, okay, I'm just gonna do this because it's the cool thing to do right now. It's like, no, I'm doing this because it comes from my center, from my core. So some other reading points that I wanted to share with you guys is, you know, where are you being asked to bring intense concentration and dedication? Remember, and I liked this, remember that all the skills we've built as a species, let alone in our lives. I mean, think of you're born, you learn how to walk, you learn how to eat, you learn how to do schoolwork, you learn how to do your job. All these things took time, energy, dedication, persistence, right? And then you think of collectively as a people, like, look at how quickly we've adapted to the new normal. Look at how quickly, like, you guys are, it's Friday at 7:45 p.m. What would you have been doing 8 weeks ago? Maybe this, and if so, love you, you're my ride or die, let's keep doing this shit. But maybe not. Like, so look at how quickly we've adapted, and look at how now we're being asked to have different skills, right? Like, I need to get a little bit probably better. Yeah, Cassie's co-signing. Like, it's a little choppy on my my end. So like, I'm probably getting a new laptop soon, if I'm honest with you. I might get a microphone too. Getting crazy. So how can we use our skills to bring about new social frameworks, new philosophical concepts, new practical skills? So it doesn't have to be like you change the world and democracy's out the window and now we have a whole new world order, although it could be. But what else can we do to master our skills for the greater good? What else can we do to have imagination, right? And I liked this from the book I read too, that imagination takes discipline. Creativity takes patience and practicality. You can't just like, I mean, you can, and there are a few people in the world who've done it, but if you're just willy-nilly like creating with absolutely no center grounding you, with no patience, with no real, let's call it self-discipline, then you're throwing a bunch of noodles, but not many are going to stick on the wall. So this card is asking us to be patient with ourselves, to have perseverance, and to remember that imagination, when directed to a really strong effort, allows us to create lasting change. And the last thing I really like that it says, bless the effort. So that's the same idea that you're doing it from a place of love. It's blessing the effort. Like, you're not doing it begrudgingly. You're not dragging your feet like, oh God, I don't want to do another Zoom call. Like, honestly, tonight I had that really split second of like, shit, I'm really tired. Like, I've had a full week of work. Then I was like, wait, but this is what I love. Like, this is what I want to do full time. So snap back out of it. Remember to bless my effort. Like, I'm doing this because I want to, not because it's a chore. Okay, last card. 7 of Stones, another Earth card. Sevens, the way the teacher who I've learned a lot about tarot from explains the number 7 as an archetype is really about things that feel external but are actually internal conflicts. So the archetype for this one is a healer. I don't know if you can see that very clearly, but she's sitting over a body surrounded by 7 stones that kind of look like a baby Stonehenge. And essentially what the healing card is asking us to do is say, like, you probably, and I say you, but it's like me, we're all projecting all the time, that there might have been something in the past, whether it's recent, whether it's current, past, that requires you to rest and heal, that you can't be whole again until you actually take the time out to chill. I know, like, I'm looking at you, Mona, because I'm thinking of like yin yoga. Our yin yoga practice is, it has to balance the yang. If you're just doing a fiery power practice all the time, you are going to burn out. Anyone who's done consistently a really hard practice in life, you burn out. You need the rest. So sometimes you don't get a choice, you burn out and you have to take rest sometimes. And usually it's an injury or it's in just a way of like life throws something at you, right? Or you can choose it. So because we're given this card, we're asked to kind of choose to rest before we need to, because it's likely that we've gone through some physical, spiritual, or emotional wounding and we need recovery. I would say collectively we're going through that. I think that if you haven't already consumed enough literature on it, like, we're collectively grieving the loss of life, like literally loss of life, and then the loss of our normal, and the loss of our belief of what the future would look like, right? And so now we're being really asked to be present with what is showing up. The biggest message of the healing card is forgiveness. I wrote down a quote that I really liked because it resonated with me very deeply. We hold pain mistakenly believing that it keeps us close to the source of that which caused us pain. So if you've ever lost someone important to you in life, it can actually feel almost like, in my experience, like by carrying the pain every day, you're honoring them more, or you're honoring the memory of something, but really what you're often doing is just creating a burden on you, because whatever has left you, whether it's a person or a relationship or a job or a belief or an ideology or whatever, oftentimes when you carry that burden and that grief, you're only prolonging your own suffering. That thing has already moved on. So I just invite you to think of it that way. And the other really important key to this card is that the biggest impetus for forgiveness is self-forgiveness. That it's likely if you're carrying it, it's because you haven't let go of something you believe you did. Whether it's you didn't do enough, or you did too much, or you acted a certain way, or you reacted a certain way, right? So finally, I'll close with this on the energy reading. Accept the simple truth, and I liked this. It's easier said than done, but accept the simple truth that we make mistakes, and that's okay. So the healing part is just going in, and I think a new moon's a really good time to get quiet with yourself and to go inside and say, where am I still holding on to something that's not mine to hold anymore? And how can I go in and just say, you know what? I get to put that down now. I get to forgive myself and say, I'm human. I make mistakes. That's part of the deal of being a human on earth. So, okay. So as we start to recline, which is what we're going to do now, lay down, grab any last sip of water or blanket or pillow. I know I've gotten pretty dark on screen, so I'm going to turn a light on while you guys get comfortable really quickly. All right, we all comfy? If you're just joining on Insta Live, we're about to do the guided meditation part, so please get comfortable and find yourself someplace where you can be heavy into the surface below you. If you prefer to sit, you are welcome to. I recommend you don't. I recommend you get really nice, embrace the fullness of your Taurus season. Hell, if you want to grab a cheese plate, I will support that decision as well. Begin by breathing, just noticing your breath. Fill your nose really deep. Feel the ribs expand. And as you let go of the air, let the belly soften, soften, soften. Do that again. Fill your nose really deep. Feel your lungs get bigger. Then let the whole center of your body soften down, melt inward. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take a few more breaths just like this. Let your body relax onto the surface you've chosen. From your head to your feet, let everything soften down. If there's any distractions outside of you, know that there's nothing to do or change. Let them be. They will calm themselves as you calm yourself. If there's any distractions inside from your brain, from your rational thinking side, give yourself that self-forgiveness right here, right now. That you are a human, that you are given a certain program as you are born, and it is one that keeps you safe and alive. And it is one that in many scenarios in our current world, our current 2020 landscape, are not necessarily helping us escape threats, but rather creating a bit more noise, distracting us from what's really happening in our center and our intuition. Keep breathing with the cadence that feels right for your body. Go inward. Seek out that still place, that inner knowing that lives inside of you. Take a breath in. Soften the belly. Begin to bring your attention to your mind's eye, to your crown chakra, your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. If you can comfortably bring your gaze to the space between your eyebrows, go ahead and take your eyes that way. We begin to visualize the outside of a cave. Stones are big and smooth. The entrance, you might notice whether it appears small, large, just right for you. Just notice what the entrance looks like. Notice the temperature around you. Notice any smells, any feelings you have. If there are any notes of trepidation or fear, come back to your breath. Remind yourself you are safe. You are guided. You are protected. Breathe in. Breathe out. Begin to walk towards the entrance of the cave. And you enter as you will. And you begin to notice that it is dark, but that you're not afraid. That you have the skills that you need to navigate the darkness. That you have the vision, the acuity, the mental clarity to discern what is a threat and what is not. And that this journey is one of healing, not of any pain. The pain has already been felt. The pain has already been received. And now you're asked to go in to darkness, which can feel scary, but is actually, like the moon, just part of the cycle. The moon goes dark every 28 days, and it always, always builds back up again to fullness. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. You begin to, one foot at a time, one step at a time, walk into the darkness in the cave. Maybe the hands reach out to touch the side walls, the side stones. You feel maybe coolness under your fingertips, and you know that right now you have the awareness and the touch and the sensation to guide you through the darkness. You can feel your way through. And you begin to peek forward and see that there is a small light. You notice the color of the light and you begin to walk towards it, maybe picking up the pace, but staying at a steady, steady cadence, one foot in front of the other. And as you walk closer to the light, you begin to notice that the walls next to you begin to broaden, and you might just keep one hand up to guide you. Notice which hand you choose, left or right. You begin to hear a little bit of scurrying, steps near you, steps coming towards you, but from behind you. And as you get closer, the light gets brighter, and then you begin to see a shape form, and it's an animal. And you notice what kind of animal it is. It's a friendly one. It's one that has your best interest, and it's here to guide you. Maybe you didn't hear steps, and maybe you heard wings instead, and you just notice what animal is showing up for you. You greet it, you smile, and depending on what kind of animal it is, you know it's smiling back at you. And in the way that the mind's eye works, the way that intuition works, you know that this animal's here to lead you to that light, that it has a purpose, and its purpose is to guide you. And though it might not speak, or though it might, you know the message it's trying to give you. So wherever you are with the animal, you sort of crouch down, or you allow it to land on your hand or perch on your shoulder, and you ask it, what do you want me to know? Where are you here to guide me towards? What purpose do I have in this healing journey? Help me understand. Pause and let the animal respond. Its words or its intuitive sharing to you and your intuition provide you this warm sensation that starts at your heart, and it creeps down to your belly, and it softens more, and you realize, I am safe. Any fears or concerns I had about being in this dark, narrow cave, I know that they're going to broaden in the walls. Now I have a guide with me who knows this cave, and there's light that I'm walking towards. Moreover, this animal has now given you a deeper sense as to where your skills might be needed. And so the animal begins to take off forward towards the light, and you begin to walk at a brisker pace after the animal, knowing that you're guided, knowing that you're safe, knowing that something beautiful, something deep, something rich, something rooted lies for you at that light. You get closer to the light, you get closer, and then you start to see that it is a flame, a torch, a brazier that's sticking out of the side of the cave. It's there for you to take, because beyond this light that was small but flickering, there is another bigger light, and you can see that it's white. You can see that it's actually a different type, a different source, a deeper energy of hope. The animal kind of gives you a little wink and says, grab that torch, buddy. We're walking towards the big light. And as you grab the torch, you walk and you begin to notice, look over to the wall next to you, the one where the hand was touching and guiding you before you had this torch, and notice that there are drawings, maybe words, maybe ancient, maybe modern. Notice what you see on the wall as you walk, you breathe, and you receive this medicine, this information from someone who's come before you, someone who's been through the fear and the pain and wanted to leave this hopeful message to you. What does it say? You and the animal, you both pause and you look at it. Notice how big it is. Notice what colors are used. What's the imagery provided? Take it all in. Let it wash over you. If your vision feels foggy or you feel unclear, simply allow in your mind's eye the eyes to just rest and feel what the image wants you to feel, that hope. Whether you saw pictures or words or both, notice that this message was actually crafted perfectly and specifically for you. You smile, you look back down at your animal guide, and you both continue on your way, walking towards the rich white light. Walking one foot in front of the other, trusting, knowing that an even more hopeful, inspired, and deep message lies there for you under the white light. Breathe in. Breathe out. You are about 25 yards out from the light, and you begin to notice a tree growing underneath it. Maybe it's your favorite tree, or maybe it's the big, gnarled, old, ancient tree of life, tree of wisdom. And you see the white light pouring down, spilling over the tree. And you notice that the roots of the tree are so deep. They are so complex. They are so big because this tree has been here for millennia. It's been here since before humans ever walked the face of the earth. You approach the tree slowly, slowly, and your animal friend begins to walk in line with you, and you approach it together. And you look down or up at your animal, and it gives you one last piece of guidance here. Sort of that proverbial nudge or tap of, you can do this. Approach the tree. The tree offering you wisdom and groundedness and reminding you of your purpose on earth. That's really what you came here for. To understand what your calling is, and in this moment, how you can work towards building up the confidence, building up the clarity of vision, and most importantly, what skills you need. So you place one hand on the tree and you feel its energy. It vibrates through you. And then you place your other hand on the tree and you feel connected and you know you're ready to receive guidance. And you ask the tree, tree of wisdom, tree of my inner knowing, in the highest and best of myself and all living things, what skills would you have me build and cultivate? Where would you have me direct my focus and my energy with love? What would you have me know if I pull out from the day-to-day and I see the big picture so that I can develop the skills that are needed for me to live my truth, for me to live my purpose? I know I want to do things from a place of love, and I know I want to do things of service for everyone around me. Help me understand, where can I put my focus? And you pause and you listen, and you feel, and you know. If you have any other clarifying questions or affirmations you seek from the tree of wisdom, take the next few breaths to get your clarity. The tree is patient. It's not going anywhere, and it's always here to guide you. Any last pieces of wisdom around the skills that maybe you already possess and you're just asked to come back to them? Or maybe it's a skill that you've been thinking about but been too nervous to try. Maybe it's one you've lost time for. Maybe it's one you forgot you had. All those years ago when you were young and you were confident and you did things only from your heart. And the tree reminds you that you are always that child inside. And the tree tells you you are blessed because the effort that you put in is towards something that is of service and that is from love. With your hands still resting on the tree, you thank it from the center and core of your being. You feel underneath your hands the vibration, and you feel the white light begin to pour all over you. Your animal guide gets close to you so it can soak up the light too, and you are immersed and you are there. And you are present, and you are full of skill, and you are full of vision. You are full of hope. And you have one final question for the tree before you part ways. And you ask the tree, where would you have me forgive myself so that I might heal and be able to put all of my depth of energy towards these skills that are here to save the world? Where would you have me heal? How would you have me shine my light inward to myself that I might be of service first to my own beauty and my own confidence and my own perseverance and self-discipline, so that I can then offer it to the world as a gift? What am I holding on to that is no longer mine to carry? What stones can I remove from my back? And the tree tells you, and you receive it, and even if it feels really strained or hard, you accept that you're a human and you deserve forgiveness, but you must give it to yourself first. The tree says to you, and you know it even though you might not hear it, to let go, to release the grip, to pull your hands away from the tree, to rest your back against it, to sit among its roots, and to take 5 deep breaths in. Soften on the out. In. Feel yourself let go. Fill up. Feel another stone drop off your back, whether it's anger, fear, sadness, regret. It's no longer yours to carry, and it was never yours to begin with. Accept the simple truth that you will make mistakes, and you are perfect as you are in your human form. Know that the sooner you can forgive yourself, the sooner you can heal and share that with others. That is the most beautiful skill and gift to have. Take one more breath together. Let the mouth open on the exhale. With very little rush, begin to bring your awareness back to your body. Just notice your feet. Notice your shins, your knees. Notice your thighs, your hips. Your belly is still so soft and your back is melting under the surface. Bring your awareness up to your heart space, your shoulders, your neck. Bring awareness to your jaw. Begin to take small movements with it, just side to side, up and down. Your hands begin to move and take little shifts of the fingers. Maybe the wrists roll out. Begin to rock your head side to side, and you bring your attention back to that space between your eyebrows before we come back totally to our bodies. You thank the wisdom of the tree, the wisdom of your spirit animal, the wisdom of the cave, the wisdom of you. All of that came from you, your inner knowing. Begin to stretch your body. Begin to reach the arms up and the feet forward. And over the next 3 breaths, start to roll to one side. There's no rush to get there. Breathe in and to breathe out. Begin to press your way gently into a seat. As you get to your seat, you can keep the eyes nice and heavy. And we'll meet in hands at heart center, but with our fingers clasped at the webbing. This is the unshakable trust mudra. And then you bring your elbows out to the sides, and there's a gentle tug happening side to side, but there's a knowing that you are over your heart, you are protected, you are guided. Together, let's take a breath in. Open your mouth, exhale. Let the hands drop, let the eyes blink open. You can tuck the chin, roll it out side to side. We're back in our bodies. No need to turn your lights up if you're feeling the dimness. Please stay as comfortable as you'd like. And welcome back. How are we doing? Good. So I wanted to ask, actually, before I ask, sorry, I was in it with you. My knees are a little woo. Before we go to debrief, I wanted to share, because I'm a big believer in nothing's random, nothing's an accident. And if you've ever worked with cards, you know that if a card falls out, it wanted you to see it. So when I got up to go turn the lights on, I accidentally kicked the deck and the cards splayed everywhere, but only one flipped over. And so to me, that's our guidance card, and I wanted to give it to you now because I think it wants us to hear it now. It's the seer, and it feels really right. It always does on this damn shit, because that's why I do it. But the seer is a major archetype. It's the second card in the deck, and it's a feminine energy. So I'm going to read to you what the seer is all about. It's a little bit lengthy, so you can kind of take this time to just still reintegrate. I say a little lengthy, it's not crazy, but. So the seer is wrapped in the owl's cloak of wisdom, decorated with totem animals, power, and shamanic spirits. She stands before the world tree, drawing wisdom from the roots that are deeply embedded in the earth. Close around her are the symbols of the 4 elements that she mediates: the cup, the staff, the arrowhead, and the stone. So those are our 4 elements of our tarot deck. From the head of her staff hang the crane bag and a set of runes. She may be masked, and her face may only be glimpsed or seen in half light. Her voice may be hushed, and she may speak in riddles, but if you listen, she can point you to new, wiser beginnings. which I really love that for like the new moon, new beginnings, right? So here's the meaning behind the card. Placed at the heart of the wheel of the wildwood, which is a concept that this deck uses. In the quadrant of water, the seer represents insight that is gained from the stillness and inwardness of the sojourn of the hooded man. The hooded man, just so you guys know, I'm just going to show you, he's actually on the cover of this, but he's sort of like a hermit-like figure. He walks through the wood guided by light, his own light, which is interesting because we had our own light in our cave. She stands at the heart of an interpersonal universe and can mediate that knowledge and help to externalize the energy into power, wisdom, or creative endeavor in the material world. That feels so like related to what we said at the beginning to me. The seer acts as an oracular mediator, meaning vocal and vision. Actually, it's vision, sorry, of the feminine, intuitive, and imaginative principle. But her mediation is based on grounded energy and skill. This is symbolized by her feathered cloak, which represents the flight of thought and an intellect. I'm sorry, I'm freaking out because this is also like related. This is symbolized by her feathered cloak, which represents a flight of thought and intellect, matured and stabilized through her deep-rooted powers, grounded in the memory of the conscious of Earth. So, the seer stands at the center of both the wheel and of the individual inner world. Facing the shaman, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I'm straight up blind as a bat these days. I am becoming an old woman. She acts not only as a guide to the soul, but as a catalyst for the manifestation of creative and artistic worlds and works. I'm straight up struggling. Hold on. Fun little interlude there, yeah? Okay, thank you for your patience. Ideas may be filtered through the shadowy realms of dreams and trance-like states, but the inner archetypal mediator that forms these ideas into works of literature, song, or dance is the seer. So this idea that the seer is sort of a conduit between your creative inner world and then how to put that out in the world. It is she who inspires the emotional link to a book or a piece of music, or brings a tear to the eye at the end of an emotional film, or laughter at the end of a funny story. With her inherent ability to balance emotion, intellect, and willpower, she spurs us to create change in our material world and is a skilled mediator of all the elemental forces found within the wildwood. She fosters a positive exercise of will manifested by emotion and commitment and resulting in outer material effect. This is one of the purest and most blessed forms of earth magic. So finally, the reading points are: the time has come to focus your power and let it flow through you. Many dreams or desires related to the creative emotional processes are ready to be applied to your day-to-day life. And you must now give vent to those hidden and suppressed longings. Y'all forgive me. You must now give vent, meaning give air, to those hidden or suppressed longings. This may also relate to healing, sexual relationships, or partnerships. Now the manifestation of inner spiritual or esoteric insights into your practical and physical daily life will bring profound rewards and results. It is a sign of maturity. The seer also relates to creative impulses such as art, mechanical skills and crafts, and the joy of bringing pleasure and knowledge to others. Okay, thank you for bearing with my hilarious eyesight. You guys, is anyone else flipping out? That was really powerful. What I feel that the seer wants us to know is, like, even though I just said all that shit about go in, that it's the going in that's going to allow you to put out. So new moons are this really rich, fertile, and I use this at the last one, fecund is this word that is actually used to describe the fertility of soil in particular, and being in this rich, earthy Taurus season, we're being asked now by the seer to go in, get creative with our hawk-like vision, with the skills that we've manifested because we have to change because the world is changing, and with the forgiveness that it doesn't need to be perfect in anything that we were holding on to that has kept us back. we're now given the space to go in and heal it. So if you've been thinking about like, I want to do this creative project, or I've been thinking I want to do whatever, like, right, I can talk in general terms. And personally, this resonates like, whoa, for me, because there are a lot of projects that I have been wanting to do for years, and I finally feel like it's time. Anyhow, oh my gosh, I'm reading, Cassie said that as I was sharing that a huge thunderstorm erupted and a huge spurt of thunder went off as I was reading this series. Girl, that is freaky. I love that. So here's where we can debrief, right? So I would love to hear from you what the cave was like, who was your animal, what drawing you saw, what guidance you were given, and what the tree told you. If you're willing to share, only if you feel you know, that it's safe for you to share or that you're ready. You don't have to at all, but you can put it in the chat box. You can unmute. I can start just to tell you that my animal was the hawk. And it was kind of perching on my shoulder, and it was chilling with me. And I don't know, it had like kind of a cute, like playful personality. So that was cool. What about you guys? Anyone? Baby deer. I love a fawn. Cassie had a baby deer. Cute. Very feminine energy, right? If it was a baby, maybe. What else? Oh, Mona had a deer too. That's so cool. And anything from the cave drawing or anything that came up for you that feels right? Oh, another a half deer, half llama baby looking. Yeah. Alex Stagel had a rabbit. Ooh, James had a fox. So what's cool is I'm not like the Wikipedia encyclopedia of every spirit animal ever, although I do have a decent knowledge, but you can go look these up, especially on like dreammoods.net is a really good resource for symbolism and imagery. A bear, yeah, Tabitha. Ooh, baby elephant. I like that, Beth. That's beautiful. Yeah, I know for me, I've been working on this stuff for a while, like a lot of my inner stuff. Oh, from Insta Live, Willow had two animals, a snow leopard, but his mate was an African leopard and they were paired. Do you think that's because you just got engaged, maybe? Very cool. When I got to the tree, ooh, a jackalope, a hummingbird, yeah. And so if like colors came out for you, it's really cool to just explore what colors came out. The whole purpose of this exercise is for your healing, but it's the reminder that like it all lives inside of you. Like all I did was guide you through something, but your imagination and your heart and your spirit are really what have answers for you. So just know that you can't do it wrong. Does anyone else want to share anything? We're coming up on time. Those cards are wild. A jackalope. Ooh. That's cool, Leslie. All right, guys. Well, are we feeling tired? Did I just like put everyone to sleep, kind of, maybe? Cool. That's cool. I want you to go enjoy your Friday. Thank you so much for coming. This is truly like the skill that I know I want to hone, right, is being of service in ways that feel creative and fun and deep. So thank you for showing up. It really means a lot. If you have any questions or you want to debrief privately, you know how to reach me, most of you. So if you don't, ask your friend who referred you, and I'd love to chat. Otherwise, I'll see you again in a couple weeks with the full moon. It's the biggest moon of the year, May 7th. I know this all sounds like it's propaganda, but it's true. It's a super moon, meaning it's super close to Earth, and it's going to be in, what's the corresponding sign to Taurus? What's 6 months from Taurus? Tabitha, I know you know. I'll find out. You'll see my flyer come out. It'll be great. But it's going to be a big one for letting go, releasing. So I hope to see you there. Feel free to share this with anyone. XOXO, Gossip Girl. Have a good night. Feel free to leave anything in the chat if you didn't get to say it. I know, Willow, it's because I'm a witch. Oh. She said, how come everything you do always seems to have this interconnected web? Because I'm crazy. Cool. Love you guys.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Kathleen.
you. I'm going to read your chats. Have a good Friday, y'all. Bye.